All right, as an entrepreneur and growing a real estate team, you have to understand this one fundamental principle, which is you have to build your company with great people. I know it sounds easy, right? Build your business, build your company, build your team with great people. But what the hell are great people, right? Conceptually, if I say that to you, you'd be like, yeah, great people. Like I got a bunch of great people around me. And that's what I felt like for years. Like I had a bunch of great people. If you ask me, what are your people like? Oh my God, they're great. They're amazing. And they do their job really well. But there's an actual formula to quantify what are great people. So great people are defined as the right people or the people that match your core values sitting in the right seat on the bus to take you to the promised land. Great people equals right people plus right seat. That's what it is. So let's talk about right people first. Right people match you at a core value level. And it's funny because it reminds me of this conversation that I have all the time with the vice president of my company, having to do with hiring, having to do with staffing, having to do with the team members. And for years and years and years and years, we would always be looking at bringing people in and, some people worked and some people didn't. And we accepted that as being okay. And we accepted that as being part of the business, right? And when people came onto the team, we looked at them from a DISC profile. We looked at them as a value assessment. So they used to take this test and would do their DISC profile and their values assessments. And then we'd look at their past employment and we'd do an interview with them. And if they were a good fit, they were hired. What we failed to do in the past was start to uncover who they were at a core level. Because quite frankly, nowadays, I don't care as much of what the DISC says as much as who you are on a core level. And I did this class the other day with some students going over, and these are people who are growing real estate teams, right? These are entrepreneurs who want to grow businesses. And we're sitting there and we start right with core values. And the core values. Yeah, we know businesses are needed. So I start, or businesses need core values. So I start interviewing them and I'm like, all right, what are your core values? What are your core values? What are your core values? And the room, 80%, 90% of the room couldn't tell me or didn't have any core values. And then 10, 15% who did, they had to find them. They didn't know them. And I started to articulate to them why they're so important. You can't hire without core values clearly defined. You can't review someone without your core values clearly defined. You can't fire someone without your core values clearly defined. To do these functions, you have to have a baseline to say you are right people. How do you hire someone if you can't say it's the right person? I feel that it's the right person. And nowadays, when people say that to me, I say, okay, quantify what is right people. It's who you are on a core value level, like who I am at a core level. So I think about Cory Home Team, my real estate company. And our core values spell out the acronym of DREAMS: dedication, relationships, education, accountability, motivation, and service. And I can define to you what each one of those means with a story. And now when we are bringing people onto our team, we're asking situational questioning. Do they match our core values on a core level? Because you'll see, if they do, very, very little management is going to be needed for them because they are coming in dedicated to the overarching cause of the team, motivated to get it done, get stuff done every single day, focused on the inner office relationships. Maybe you've had someone in the past who came and did their job, but not focused on building any deep relationships with people in your office, and that caused a rift. Well, if it's part of who you are at a core level, you're only going to attract people who are that as well, right? Who are focused on the relationships, the educational side, lifelong learners. You don't always have to feel like you're the entrepreneur of the business who does all the learning and you have a bunch of people around you who are just technicians doing, like they're actively learning with you because it's who they are at a core level. And then from there, having a personal accountability to get stuff done, get your job done every day. That's who I am at a core level. And now that I've uncovered that is what right people are in my business, that's who I'm trying to bring in, and that's what I'm looking for during the interviewing process. That's who I'm giving shout outs to during our Monday office meeting. That's at the quarterly award ceremony. One of the things I nominate people for are, you are a living embodiment of our core values. You are the right people. So once we uncover right people, we've got 100% right people in the company. No exceptions, right? No exception, 100% right people. Then we got to look for right seat. We got to look for right seat. What is that person hardwired to do? That person, they get it. Like they understand what the seat they're sitting in consists of. They wake up every morning. Their mind is hardwired to go and do it. Their mind is hardwired for sales. Their mind is hardwired for videography. Their mind is hardwired for operations. They will have the capacity to grow into deep in that position, to build the processes out for that position, to educate themselves on how to work more efficiently in that position. That is their seat on the bus. A couple great examples of individuals who came in. Our videographer named Charles. He comes on, right people, 100% right people, pluses across the board. But he came in as a sales agent. Wasn't his seat on the bus. His seat on the bus is now where he sits in videography. And the same with Carrie. Carrie is an amazing person, right people, 100%. But she came in as an outside sales agent. That's not where she thrives. She thrives in inside sales, not in outside sales. So my point to you guys is this. As the entrepreneur of a real estate team, as a real estate business, you're going to be bringing in nonstop talent. My business is up to 75, 80 people in it right now. We needed to first focus on, do we have 100% of the right people? And then once we do that, do we have them in the right seat on the bus? Because once you start working towards that goal of 100% of right people on your team, just sitting in the right seat on the bus, you're going to see that you're working with great people. And everything changes in your business and, more importantly, your life. You're not chasing sales agents around to make sure they did their active daily prospecting. Because if you have 100% of the right people in the sales agent seat, they're going to do it without you having to manage them. They're going to convert the clients they need to every quarter because you don't need to manage them. And if you have to manage someone that closely, then you hired the wrong somebody. You won't need to do that because they come in and get their stuff done, because they are a reflection of you and your values as the entrepreneur. So if anything, maybe you need to look a little bit deeper and see who are you? Uncover who you are as a person, who you are at a core level, and let that shine through and allow that to be a beam of light into the world and say, if you match these values, come with me on this journey. Because that's what I've done, and it's completely changed my business, but more importantly, my life. All right, hopefully you guys found this helpful. It's about working with great people on your team. If you did, hit the like button below. Don't forget to subscribe, never miss an episode, and I'll see you guys on the other side.